So John, go ahead. I'll be behind the camera if you need me.
Thank you. So this past February, starting February 1st, 2022, is the Year of the Tiger. 新年快乐, which means Happy New Year. And 恭喜发财, which means wish you prosperity and wealth. So the Year of the Tiger means that for people born in the Year of the Tiger, they have, it's more lucky and prosperous for them. From ChineseNewYear.net, tigers are usually vigorous and ambitious, daring and courageous, enthusiastic and generous, self-confident with a sense of justice, and a commitment to help others for the greater good. So tigers, this is your year. Have fun and good luck. Tigers are called 老虎 in Mandarin. So that brings me to the first book I'm going to read today. It is called Lunar New Year.
So exciting. I'm going to do a bit of a camera shuffle for those who are watching. Apologies if this hurts your eyes. You'll just be able to hear John better. All right, let's go.
Okay. On the first day of the Chinese calendar, the new moon is in the sky and the stars shine bright. It is time for a big celebration. This festival is known by many names: Chinese New Year, Spring Festival, and Lunar New Year. It marks the passage of the harvest season and celebrates the coming spring.
Oh, so pretty.
Each new year is represented by one of 12 different animals of the Chinese zodiac. The animals are the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig.
Oh, not me. Jeepers. Okay.
Before the New Year celebrations begin, we clean our homes and ourselves. This symbolizes washing away anything bad from last year and starting fresh. We feast and celebrate with our families because Lunar New Year is about preparing for good luck in the coming year, and it's also about family and honoring our ancestors. Many of the holiday's traditions come from a very old tale. There is an ancient Chinese legend that tells of a monster named Nian, who had the head of a bull and the body of an ox. Once a year, Nian would come out of hiding and scare people. But the monster was afraid of three things: the loud crackling of burning bamboo, or firecrackers, the color red, and the bright lights of lanterns. Today, we light baozu, or firecrackers, lanterns and fireworks, and we hang red signs with blessings to keep Nian away. Red symbolizes good luck. We also display other things that represent luck, such as the Chinese character fu, elaborate knots, and paper cuttings with beautiful words or pictures.
These are gorgeous.
The Lunar New Year celebrations last 15 days. During the first days, we visit our friends and family, and we stay up all night enjoying the company of one another. We eat dumplings filled with all sorts of delicious meats and vegetables. Because the dumplings are shaped like yuanbao, an ancient kind of money, we hope that they will bring wealth and prosperity in the coming year. Children also receive red envelopes with money from their parents, grandparents, other family members, and friends. These are called hongbao. This tradition comes from the legend of an evil spirit called sui. Parents used to thread 8 coins on a red string and place them under their children's pillows to protect them from the spirit. On the 15th night, the full moon returns to the sky, and we honor the end of Lunar New Year with the Lantern Festival. We celebrate with parades led by people dressed as dragons and lions. These animals bring us good fortune and luck. All right, and that's the end.
What an interesting time. So does that mean that we still have the lunar celebration left to do because it's not been 15 days?
Yes, so it ends on February 16th.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
still celebrating.
I love that.
So what Lunar New Year means to me, I am Chinese American, and my parents came here from China for graduate school before I was born, and they brought my grandparents with them, my father's biological parents. So Lunar New Year every year to me meant going out to the city and having a really good meal and celebrating our lives together. Specifically, we were celebrating my grandparents. I knew that every year, without fail, there would be a hongbao or a red envelope. It was a really exciting time of year, because we were eating good food, we were spending quality time together, and also I get more allowance this week. So that brings me to the second book. It's called Sam and the Lucky Money.
That one's awesome. Who is it by? Can you read the author?
The author is Karen Chin.
Okay. Awesome.
Sam could hardly wait to get going. He zipped up his jacket and patted his pockets. It was time to go to Chinatown for New Year's Day. Sam thought about sweet oranges and lucky money, crisp dollar bills tucked in small red envelopes called lacies. Sam's grandparents gave him lacies every New Year. Each envelope was decorated with a symbol of luck, 2 golden mandarins, a Chinese drunk, a slithering dragon, a giant peach. Sam's lacies were embossed in gold. Sam counted out $4. Boy, did he feel rich. His parents said that he didn't have to buy a notebook or socks as usual. This year, he could spend his lucky money his way. Sam, his mother called. It's time to go shopping. Hurry, so we don't miss the lion. Coming, said Sam.
He seems really happy.
Yes. The streets hummed with thumped drums and the clang of cymbals. Everywhere, dusty red smoke hung in the air, left by exploding firecrackers. Give me your hand, said his mother. I don't want you to get lost. But Sam took her hand reluctantly. It seemed like everyone was shopping for New Year's meals. There were so many people crowded around the overflowing vegetable bins that Sam had to look out for elbows and shopping bags. Right next to the vegetable stand were 2 huge red paper mounds. Sam kicked the piles with his right foot, and then with his left foot, until he created a small blizzard. On his third kick, he felt his foot land on something strange. "Ayah!" someone cried out in pain. Startled, he looked up to find an old man sitting against the wall. The stranger was rubbing his foot. Bare feet in winter, Sam thought. Where are his shoes? Sam stared at the man's dirty clothes as he backed away. He found his mother picking out oranges, and he tugged on her sleeve, pulling harder than he meant to. "Hey, I need this arm," she said. "Where have you been? It's time to go." For once, Sam was glad to follow his mother. In the bakery window, Sam eyed a gleaming row of fresh chao su bao, his favorite honey-topped buns. When they opened the door, the smell of sweet egg tarts and coconut pastries erased any thought of the stranger. Sam wondered how many sweets he could buy with $4. "Na you not yet, eh?" said a young woman from behind the counter. When Sam gave her a puzzled look, she repeated the question in English. "What do you want?" Sam was about to ask for buns when he noticed a tray full of New Year's cookies. They were shaped like fish, with fat, pleated tails that looked like little toes. He couldn't help but think about the old man again. Sam decided he wasn't hungry after all. Suddenly, he heard a noise from outside that sounded like 1,000 leaves rushing. He ran to the window to see what was happening.
I wonder what's happening.
Find out. Look, he yelled. Bundles of firecrackers were exploding in the street. Rounding the corner was a festival lion, followed by a band of cymbals and drums. Sam pulled his mother outside. The colorful lion wove down the street like a giant centipede. Teased by a clown wearing a round mask, it tossed his head up and down. It came to a halt in front of a meat market and sniffed a giant lacy that hung in the doorway, along with a bouquet of lettuce leaves. With loud fanfare, the band urged the lion toward its prize. Take the food! Take the money! Bring us good luck for the new year! Sam shouted along with the others. His heart pounded in time with the drum's beat. With a sudden lunge, the lion devoured the lacy all in an eye blink and continued down the street. The crowd clapped and then quickly dispersed. That was a hungry lion, Sam's mother joked. Now he felt hungry too, and wanted to go back into the bakery. But just then, a large grand opening sign caught Sam's eye. In the window were cars, planes, robots, and stuffed animals. A new toy store, just the place to spend his lucky money. Sam ran down one aisle, then another. He examined a police car with a wailing siren and flashing lights. He squeezed a talking pig and laughed at its loud oink, oink. Then he spotted the basketballs. A new basketball was a perfect way to spend his lucky money. But when he saw the price tag, he got angry. I only have $4, he shouted. I can't buy this. In fact, everything he touched cost more than that. What is $4 good for? He complained, stamping his feet. His mother scrunched up her eyes the way she always did when she scolded him, and guided him out the door. Sam couldn't help it. Even with all the shiny gold on them, the laces seemed worthless. Sam, when someone gives you something, you should appreciate it, his mother said as she marched him along. Sam stuffed his laces back in his pockets. The sun had disappeared behind some clouds, and he was starting to feel the chill. He dragged his feet along the sidewalk. Suddenly, Sam saw a pair of bare feet and instantly recognized them. They belonged to the old man he had seen earlier. The man also remembered him and smiled. Sam froze in his steps, staring at the man's feet. His mother kept walking. When she turned back to check on Sam, she noticed the old man. Oh, she said, shifting her shopping bag so she could dig in her purse for some coins. Sorry, I only have a quarter. The man bowed his head several times in thanks. He acts like it's $1 million, Sam thought, shaking his head. As they started to walk away, Sam looked down at his own feet, warm and dry in his boots. Suddenly, he stopped. Can I really do anything I want with my lucky money? He asked. Yes, of course, his mother answered. Sam pulled his laces from his pockets. The golden dragon was shinier than ever. He ran back and thrust his lucky money into the surprised man's hands. You can't buy shoes with this, he told the man, but I know you can buy some socks. The stranger laughed, and so did Sam's mother. Sam walked back to his mother and took her warm hand. She smiled and gave a gentle squeeze. And as they headed home for a more New Year's celebration, Sam knew he was the lucky one. This picture of their family. So, like I was talking about, my parents are from China, and so my dad is from Shanghai, and my mom is from Hunan. On the globe, Shanghai is this eastern coastal city,
Okay.
and Hunan is more central and southern. So in my household, we had two different types of Chinese being spoken. My dad and my grandpa would speak in a Shanghai dialect, whereas my mom would speak differently. It was just very formative for me to have all these different languages around me growing up, because growing up in the American school system, I feel very fragmented in my identity. I feel American in a lot of ways, but every time I see my family or it's New Year, I feel very Chinese and relate to my heritage. That's why I chose this book. The red envelopes and the celebration of Chinese culture every Lunar New Year just taught me a lot about life. And with that, I will tell you really the full purpose of red envelopes. From BBC.com, it is generally given out to children or younger unmarried relatives during Chinese New Year by those who are already married as tokens of good fortune and blessing for the year ahead. I think a lot about the time I spent with my grandparents. It was very special to me, and just knowing the value of the money they gave me, it was just more of their spirits and the culture that they were passing down. So with that being said, I'm going to give it over to Anita to talk about red envelopes.
Yeah. Hi again, friends. Those are two really good picks. The second book that you picked warmed my heart so much. So this week's craft, you guys, is to make our very own lucky red envelopes. This is an example that I made. If you stop by the kids' desk, we're going to have a paper with a template that a grown-up or you can cut. And then you get to glue it together. And we have stickers that you can pick to put on it. We can't really give you money, but we can give you chocolate gold coins that you can put in as well. And I don't know how true this is, John, but some people say that you can put letters in red envelopes, or do you mostly just see money? I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely can put letters, but yeah, most of the time it was just money.
Okay. Well, you could give this to a loved one or treat yourself and give it to yourself too. So those are some options. Well, you know, I have some questions for you that I was thinking about, John. I hope you don't mind fielding them.
Sure.
But, so in this book and in like the sticker packet that I got, there's a lot of citrus fruits. Is that something that's like common in Chinese cultures or families? Like I know in Indian families we eat mangoes all the time, or at least in India. Is there a special like reason behind it, or is it just because that's the fruit that was available?
Yeah, so China's climate allows a lot of different kinds of fruits. There are definitely citrus. Some of my favorite fruits are actually lychee and dragon fruit. But yeah, there are a bunch of different kinds of fruit available in China.
Oh, that's really cool. I guess another question, and the last question I had was, so what did you do with your red envelopes? What did you spend your money on?
Sure, you know, when you're young, having money is kind of a disaster waiting to happen. I just wasted it all pretty much, just, maybe I'd be hungry and I would want to get some food, or maybe I'd want to get some toy or video game. But yeah, I saved some of the money for, college, and that was a really good feeling to pay all my student loans.